Side of the reception hall. When we get excited in Houston, we tend to coo. In our family, we coo. So can we please give a big coo? Thank you. This will be important in about 2 minutes. You know, Chris and Tessy have been planning this wedding and this reception for a while now. And they've put a lot of their heart, sweat, and tears into everything. And I just want to say, the wedding, the reception, everything, it has been beautiful. This has been the fruit of your labor for the past 8-10 months. You all did a great job. Tessy looks beautiful. Please, can we get a coo for Tessy and Chris? I know that everybody's ready to just have a good time, so I'm not going to keep this too long. But I have a few things that I must say by obligation. When we were growing up, our mom always just happened to mention stories of our childhood. And there's one story that always just, for some reason, stuck to my mind. And remember it? There's one story that my mom would always tell us that for some reason just always just was so special to me. So I must share it with y'all tonight. Chris and I are only about 18 months apart. And when we were growing up in India, so if you don't know, my brother, me, and my sister, we were all born in India. Maybe when we were about 4 or 5 years old, we came here, but when we were little kids, me and Chris, I don't remember my sister that much. So what? My mom would always tell me one story, and she would say, you know, I'd always give you Chris's hand-me-down clothes because they just fit after about 5 months. And you know, she would say, you know, Joe, Chris would always be so mad and so angry whenever I would wear his hand-me-down clothes. He was such a little brat, so jealous. He could not stand the fact that I would be wearing his clothes that wouldn't fit him anymore. It was so bad that she would have to hide me and dress me as a little baby, so cute. So cute as I was, she would have to hide me. Because if Chris saw me wearing his clothes that wouldn't even fit him, he would probably start crying. And he would not be too happy with that. So that is one story that I just always remember, even growing up, teenager, that my mom always told me and shared with me about our childhood. But that little jealous kid is no longer who is sitting on this stage anymore. Because now my brother is the most selfless, the most heartfelt person that I can ever think of. He takes care of everyone before himself. He puts everyone before himself, and he always takes care of anything that he can do before what he needs to get done. Sometimes I think, you know, Chris, please, take care of yourself before. But Chris always gives me the one lesson. He tells me and he teaches me that putting other people before is more important than yourself. So that's one thing that I will definitely 100% learn from you. So now it's Tessy's turn. I moved to Atlanta about a year ago. And at this time, back in March of 2010. I didn't know her too well, but all I knew was that she was my brother's friend. I moved to Atlanta in March, and when I moved to Atlanta, I have never been there before. It's my first time. I remember this story because it really holds true to my heart. I moved to Atlanta on some random day, and Tessy was there for me. I knew her for maybe a few months. She came to my place that I was staying at. She picked me up, took me to a welcome to Atlanta dinner. And then she dropped me back at my crummy little hotel. And when I was being dropped off by Tessy, she happened to have a trunk full of groceries, chicken biryani, and food for me. And I thought, my goodness, really? I don't even know this girl that well. But she's that great, she's that kind. And I could not believe that she had done this for me, because it was my first time there. I didn't know anyone, I had no friends there. I was working, but she was this kind to me, so I thought to myself, wow, this girl is really something special. Not because of what she did for me, but because of the intention that she had. I thought, my goodness, my brother must be pretty serious about this girl. And that truly touched me. You guys have done a great job. The wedding ceremony was fantastic. This is beautiful. So I just have to go ahead and say, can I get a big coup from everyone for Tessy and Chris today? No, I'm not done yet though, because I have one more story that I must tell. Chris, you were my older brother, and I have no idea how it is to be somebody's older brother. So I must tell you how I feel right now. Chris has always been the kind of person to always take care of everything. No matter what it is, how small, how large it might be, he takes the responsibility for everything on himself. He takes care of my parents, my family. But when we were little kids, there's this one story that I remember, this one incident that happened. When we were living in A-Leaf, one day we were walking to the trash dumpster. Because we have to obviously do our chores as little kids. We were walking to the trash dumpster, and on the side of the trash dumpster was written the words, "For a good time, call 555-1212. I was only about 8 years old or 7 years old. And so I said to Chris, "Hey Chris, we should call that number because I want to have a good time." Chris, being the older brother, the smarter, wiser brother that he is, turned to me and said,